Joe, a lot of rookies say each week is a learning experience. What did you learn from last week's game?
You can't let off the gas pedal. You got to keep going. We were up 21-0, and we still executed fairly well. We just didn't put the ball in the end zone, and that was unfortunate. Didn't do enough to win the game, but as an offense, we did play well, just not well enough to win the game.
You already played the Cleveland Browns once, that defensive football team. After that first matchup up there in Cleveland on Thursday night, what was your first impression of that defense?
That was kind of a weird game. They jumped out on us early, so they played a lot more zone against us. Tried to keep everything in front of them, made me take, short completions up and down the field. So I anticipate a little different game, but, obviously Myles Garrett is one of the best pass rushers in the league. So, we're going to have a plan for him. I'm going to have to always keep him in mind.
You study a ton of tape, Joe, but how helpful is it to have physically faced the defense as opposed to just studying it over and over and over again?
I don't know. I've never done it. I've never played the team twice in one season. This is the first time, we have an idea of what they did to us in the first game. And so this is my first time experiencing this. And then after this game, I'll have a better answer for you, because I don't know if they're going to come out and do something completely different or if they're going to do exactly what they did in the first game. So all we can do is study the tape that they've put out right now and the tape that they put out against us and go into the game with our game plan.
Joe, when you say you expect a different game, what do you mean? Do you think they'll do you think this is going to be a different tempo, or what do you think when you think it's going to be a different game than the last one?
Well, I mean, we dropped back 70-some times because, they were rolling on offense. So we had to stay in the game. I anticipate our team to play better as a unit and keep it a little closer.
Joe, how big was it for you to see that deep ball to T, especially down the right sideline, hit? And how big is that moving forward to kind of get those kind of passes to help the offense a little bit more?
Yeah. That was, the first big one that we've hit. And it felt good. It did. It was on a 3rd and 9, and corner tried to jump our little out route and threw it over the top. So that was good. You got to keep that going.
Is there anything that's maybe, as you're adjusting to the NFL, that's maybe hindering you from being able to hit on more of those deep balls? Is it just getting a feel for the defense, just schemes, just the speed of play, any of that play a factor?
I think we were pretty good with the deep balls on Sunday.
Joe Ward on the back end is amongst the league leaders with 8 passes defensed as a secondary. How impressed were you with their secondary after that first matchup?
Denzel's playing like one of the best corners in the league. I'm excited to compete against him for several years. He's a really good player, fast, strong, violent through the catch point. He's really, really good.
Hey, Joe, your first few interceptions, you were able to get right back on the field and actually had some pretty long scoring drives. How difficult has this one been to kind of sit on a game ender, and how much do you dwell on it?
Don't dwell on it at all. I'm done with it. They made a good play. They had the perfect coverage called for the play that we had, and they got pressure and made me get the ball out faster than I wanted to. Credit to them. They made a good play. I'm done with it. We're going on to the next one.
AJ not only had good stats last week, but it seemed like almost every one of his catches came on 2nd and long, 3rd down, 4th down, etc. Did that seem like a breakthrough moment between you and him in terms of the chemistry going forward?
We were on the same page on Sunday, and that was good to see. I think he's going to start building on the momentum that he had last game. You can kind of feel it. He kind of has a presence around him today. I'm excited to see what he's going to do.
Joe, you mentioned in the first game that they jumped out to an early lead, so you had to throw it a bunch, and they were playing soft zone, making you throw underneath and all that. Overall game management stuff, you're obviously got high football IQ. The coaches obviously they're the ones that take control of overall game management, but how much input do you have, when you see things from an overall game management standpoint to coaches?
I do have input in the game plan. I do have input on the sideline during the games. I think that's something our coaches do really, really well. They always listen to the players, whether they take it to heart and put it in the game plan or not. Sometimes that happens and sometimes that doesn't, but that's the way it goes. It's a give and take. And so I've been super happy with the game planning so far. I think we have a great coaching staff that'll get us to where we want to be.
Going back to AJ, you had said that you were really excited to play with him this year. Now, having seen you guys have that little bit of chemistry last game, does that help you mentally, just knowing that you can go to him and that that can work for you?
I've trusted him all year. We hadn't connected on a lot of them up until a few weeks ago, but we're trending in the right direction. He's got a lot of momentum, and we have momentum as an offense. So we need to build on that this week in practice and build on that in the game.
Joe, how would you describe the locker room culture right now after 6 weeks?
We're not panicking. I mean, we could easily be 4-2 right now. 1 or 2 plays made in each of these games. We're right in the playoff hunt, and we know how close we are. I think it'll just take a guy stepping up and making those 1 or 2 plays in those games to win games. And we're close. We are. And there's no panic in the locker room. We have, I think this is a very close locker room. Guys love being around each other and love coming to work every day.
Joe, do you guys still believe you're in the playoff hunt, or is that not even a concern right now?
That's not a concern right now. We're trying to win a game every week.
Joe, how do you balance? You're obviously a rookie, but you're also a team captain. How do you balance the leadership side of things, given your struggles as a team right now?
Yeah, that was, a little more part of my mindset coming into camp. Nobody really knew me. I wanted to be a leader, but I didn't want to step on any toes, and that's not really my mindset anymore. I've been here for, a few months. We all know each other. People know the kind of player I am. People know the kind of person I am. So if something needs to be said, I'm going to step up and say it. And that goes for, all the leaders in the locker room. We're not, I'm not in the mindset that I'm a rookie anymore. I have 6 games under my belt, and I feel comfortable speaking up to the team.
Joe, what is your definition of a leader? What is a leader in your mind?
Someone who comes to work every day with the mindset that, you're going to go win the game, and comes to work prepared and ready to go to work. I mean, if you're not prepared to do what you need to do every day in practice, then you can't step up and say anything. If I don't know what I'm doing on the field, I'm going to keep my mouth shut, because, nobody's going to respect someone that doesn't put in the work, doesn't know what they're doing, and doesn't play hard.